official term. Good morning, everybody, if we are live.
Yeah, we're live.
Morning.
Good
We're
morning,
live?
people.
There we go. All right, cool. We are live.
Happy Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, and this is a good Wednesday for us because this is fun week, so we're off the rest of the week.
Ooh, yes.
Always a bonus.
And you get to do snow
Absolutely.
angels, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen my snow angel video, a bunch of people have been commenting on it, and this is from an organization that I belong to in the martial arts. So many people have been commenting. I think we're going to make this the Snow Ninja Challenge next time we get some snow, and we're going to call some people out.
Yes. I love it.
All right. So welcome to the show. As you guys can tell, we have an extra ninja hanging with us today. And along with this, we are introducing the rollout of the Skillz Ambassador program, which is something we've been talking about and putting together for a little while. So we wanted to take the chance and introduce the first of our ambassadors. So everybody say hello to Meg. Yay!
What up,
Hi,
Meg?
guys. I hope you guys are having an awesome sauce day. It is a beautiful day here in Wisconsin. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today to talk about skills.
Awesome.
Cool. So, Meg, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where's your school? What do you do?
Absolutely. So, I am a proud ninja mama alongside Alex, proud ninja dad of two amazing boys. We are up here in Wisconsin. So, if you guys got to read a little bit about me earlier today, I identified the frozen tundra because we have a ton of snow right now. And it is freezing cold, but we love it. We're a hardy people. So, we own Family Strong Sussex in Sussex, Wisconsin. And we absolutely love what we do and who we are with Skillz. We run all the skills programming at our school from early skills up to extreme. We also have spectrum skills at our studio as well. And it has been the most amazing adventure and journey through this whole process of starting out as more the traditional side of things and then meeting John and exploring who we could be and what we could become alongside our personal mission, which was to never have kiddos or parents walk alone through any challenges that they face. So when we met John and we dove into spectrum skills, everything just literally blossomed from there. And I'm so happy to be a part of this organization and now to pay it forward and introduce it to so many other people because it has made a huge difference in so many lives, including ours personally.
Awesome. So, how long ago have you, or around when did you start implementing the skills program?
Yeah, so we actually met John April 2019
Wow, on the money.
through we met through Facebook. It was actually right around the time that Spectrum Skills was launching. And from there, we implemented that side of programming first because that was something very near and dear to our hearts. Our oldest son has autism. And at the time, personally as well as professionally, we wanted a way to be able to come alongside him and help him, but also to help other students that were already within our studio in that very, very special and unique way. Because if you guys have ever worked with, kiddos that are on the spectrum, or if they struggle with other, emotional, mental health issues, it takes a very special heart, a special person, and that right kind of curriculum to come alongside them and really nurture them and the parents, to be quite honest with you, because it's really quite a journey and all hands on deck to support these kiddos. So we started April 2019 with that. And like I said, from there, it blossomed as we learned more and more how we could blend kind of the best of both worlds, bringing in the tradition as well as how do we support, kiddos, adults, depending on who we're teaching in that skillsified way, in that ninja-tastic, little cherry on top to help them each be their best on and off the mats, both.
So what style did you guys do traditionally?
Taekwondo. We are Taekwondo traditionally.
Okay. So and that's something, I guess, that I'm not a Taekwondo guy, so I just know from watching John, but I guess that's something that blends pretty easily. I mean, Skillz does have an ATA background to it originally.
Yeah, I mean, there really was not as much as I thought it was going to be maybe harder than I maybe I made it a little bit more hard in my mind, but walking alongside John, helping us to see how that could be integrated for that best of both worlds experience, it really has been such a difference. So we have in our personal studio, we have students that were with us in the beginning before Skillz, and we have those that have walked like through the whole transition to where we are now. And I mean, it goes without saying they would have it no other way, and we wouldn't either, because we've been able to bring something so special to the kids, in terms of how we run drills, how we go through, that game-based learning. We get to stay on our toes just as much as the kids do, because every night is something new and exciting for them as we're going through those stripes, depending on their level. So it's really been an absolutely amazing journey.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that a lot of times when people think about joining something like Skillz, there's almost a little bit of an identity crisis, especially those of us that have been in the arts for so
Yeah.
long. Like, this is who I am, and you want me to change who I am, not realizing, like, we don't want you to change anything. We're just showing you maybe a better way to connect with the kids to more and better teach what you're already doing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think for me personally, and even for my husband Alex, he's bummed he can't be here today, but he's definitely with us in spirit. I mean, for us, we really had to do some self-reflection to move forward, and we had to decide if we were ready to, for lack of a better way, stretch ourselves, stretch like how we think, how we want to be, where do we want to go. And that was actually a really healthy exercise in so many different ways. And if there are people that are considering it, or they're kind of like, I don't know, like on the fence doing that hem and haw, I would really challenge you guys to kind of sit with those feelings, walk with someone who has walked the walk, and then dive into it together, because you don't have to go through this alone. We certainly didn't. We had John every step of the way, and we had, Team Skillz Worldwide, but all behind us to really create something that has been amazing.
How
So don't
long
shy away from the challenge.
how long did it take you before implementing pretty much the entire Skillz curriculum?
I would definitely say that it was a couple of months before we felt like we got this. I mean, like, there was obviously the baby steps in
Sure.
each of our categories as we were, bringing things into the schedule. And I mean, I can't say this enough, educating your parents every step of the way, making it transparent. This is why we're doing what we do. This is the reason behind it. And I mean, I really can't say that we had any speed bumps for us to feel like confident and like, okay, we got this, we've got our rhythm, we've got our flow. It was a couple months, to be honest, but it wasn't ever along the way like, oh my gosh, what did we do? We never had that feeling. It was always in the pursuit of something that was even going to be better than how we began. And each time that we get out on the mats, we're getting better and stronger in what we do, and taking ourselves to the next level right alongside our kiddos, because we need to, as much as we, preach to them, level up, perseverance, making sure that we are being our best. We need to do that for ourselves too, as their instructors and as school owners. So we push ourselves just as much as our kiddos.
It's
Nice.
amazing how it's almost like a life coaching experience to do this amount of self-reflection,
Yes.
and figuring out what's going on. I talk to people a lot, and sometimes I liken it to medicine. If we always look at traditional medicine and the way things always were, we'd still be like putting mud on open chest wounds, and we never would have evolved. And our
Right.
core desire was to help people, to heal people, to help them be better. We just learned better ways to do that over the centuries, and here we are now doing the same sorts of things. So as you look at your journey, and I know Spectrum Skillz you mentioned was near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Of all of the programs that you have running so far, which one is your favorite to teach?
My favorite to teach, it actually is Spectrum Skillz. That is my absolute favorite class. I absolutely so look forward to every day when I know that I'm going in and I get to have my time with my little ones that are in the Spectrum Skillz program. And the reason why is just because there's just that deep connection from my own journey as a mom, but also to come alongside other parents and talking about strategies and achieving things that seem very, very big, for the family, which may seem very simple to us. So me being able to, come into a classroom and we're working on different things with, contact, sometimes that's really difficult for a kiddo that's on the spectrum. If we're, maybe working with a paddle target with noise for the first time, to see them go through a journey of facing something that's scary or unknown, or man, I don't know what to do with this in my body when I'm going through a new experience, to get to the other side where that's an exciting thing that we get to do, something that was hard. That's the most beautiful part of what I get to do. So Spectrum Skillz, hands down, is my total 100% favorite to teach.
Nice.
Yes.
So as you look at your journey, you talked about how you went through a lot of this self-reflection. Sometimes we don't have that
Yeah.
perspective on what our challenges are until all of a sudden we find a solution for a challenge we didn't even know we had. So
Yeah.
hindsight being 2020, of course.
Yes.
What challenge did you realize that you maybe had that what's the biggest challenge you had that Skillz helped with?
I mean, there was in our time when we were seeking a way to move forward, there were many things that were facing us that were very, very challenging. On the business owner aspect side, I mean, we were in a place where we weren't seeing what we thought we would see. We weren't growing like we thought we would grow. We weren't feeling like how our journey was to play out. It just wasn't meeting what we wanted it to meet. So like there's that one aspect side that was not where we wanted it to be. Then in terms of like the kiddo side, it just felt like there was a gap. Not to say that our kiddos weren't progressing. I mean, there was, amazing accomplishments and, rising to different challenges before we became a part of Skillz. But there was just like that piece that was not quite right. And at the time we had all age groups together on our mats when we were in the traditional side before we were part of Skillz. And I always remember Alex, and I kind of talking about, we laugh about it now that we understand a little bit more about where the stages of development are, but we would always get so frustrated, like the 4-year-olds trying to hold up that middle punch, and then they just drop their arms, and then they lay down, and like the rest of the adults are keeping their arms up, and we're like, what is the deal? What is going on here? And I mean, there was like the instructor side of it too, that there just didn't seem to be something right. Why could they not all come together? They were all at the same belt rank. Why could we not get this right? So we sought out that helping hand of someone to come alongside of us in both of those aspects. Skillz really came in to help us in its entirety. I mean, we would not be who we are today, where we are today, if it were not for our coach John. And yes, I have to shout out a ton of love to this man. He saw us at our absolute darkest, and I kid you not, it was pretty bad, to get us, through a transition and to better days, and believing in us every step of the way. He saw that we were passionate and wanted to, do amazing things, but we definitely needed help. So there was that aspect, behind the scenes as, as business owners, but then to, go on the mat side, Skillz being able to come alongside and say, hey, here's why that 4-year-old can't hold up their arm and they're flopping down like a noodle. Here's why it's not going to work having them all together on the mats. Here's a so much better way to come alongside these kids, these teens, these adults in each of their unique places in their journey to really help them and nurture them in such a fun way. So, Skillz really came along in like I said, that whole package to meet our needs where we were at in that season when we were looking for help.
Yeah, that coaching and mentoring aspect is huge. I think John
Oh,
will
yes.
agree that all these science aside and the cool teaching stuff, if it wasn't for Melody's mentorship and a couple other people in the Skillz team along the way, I don't think we would be where we are. That is
Absolutely.
huge.
I mean,
Yes.
the one thing she mentioned is it took her a few months to kind of implement Skillz and get most of the Skillz programs in the studio running. Where I know
Yeah.
back when I first started, Michael, took us almost a year to a year and a half to get the 5 Skillz programs that was back then.
Yeah. To be fair, I had a lot of personal development to go through before I was ready for that kind of shift.
Yeah, and for that reason, this is why we created the Skillz coaching program. And now we've got the Skillz Ambassadors program, and you're part of the Skillz Ambassadors program. And by the way, in case you guys don't know, the Skillz Ambassadors program, we really had to go through some major, so a lot of selections, to choose the ambassadors who will be representing Skillz in the best way there is. Okay, so. With that said, what do you hope to accomplish as an ambassador, as a Skillz ambassador?
Oh, I love that question. So, I'll keep it totally real. My biggest thing as an ambassador is if I can somehow help, whether that's a person near or far from where we are in Wisconsin, come alongside a family that really needs that shoulder to lean on right now, that person that sees their kiddo, that sees their family, that is going to really, depending on the situation, get into the pit with them and help them with wherever it is that they need to move forward from. And sometimes, that pit is pretty deep, and sometimes it's, something smaller. So wherever that may be, if I can be a part of helping another school, another owner, another teacher reach another family, then that will just absolutely warm my heart, because no one should ever have to walk alone. And that is kind of one of our biggest missions. So if I can pay that forward and help another person, if my husband Alex can do the same thing, then we know that we have, really kind of stepped up into our purpose to help others in their journey.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So today's show, in essence, is about cultivation. And in the Skillz family, we like to cultivate the next generation. That's how Andrew got where he was, and then we got where we are, and now you guys are coming up as well and following a similar path. And then as you laid out Skillz, even in your school, we could look at that as the next step, because you mentioned there's a lot of communication and education with your parents.
Yes.
And with students, cultivating that, I guess, the trust and the knowledge in them.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you do to help, when we think about cultivation, it's like growing things. So there's planting seeds and nurturing and tending and then finally harvesting. how are you working to plant the seeds in your community as to, what is Skillz? What's this funky thing that you're doing? How are you getting the word out? What tips can you give us?
So the biggest thing in our particular studio, I mean, we definitely believe in that family atmosphere, the family aspect. That's why our name, we are family strong. So we truly believe in being there for each and every one of our family members. So what we have personally done in our walk is if there is something going on, maybe not just in the sense of like the group class, but an individual kiddo, we always take the time. Seriously, if there's something that is either a victory or a challenge on the mat, we always take the time to come off the mats and get to the parents level, the kiddos level, and talk about it and discuss maybe why did we try something a little bit different tonight, or why did we, you know, choose this particular drill to help, Johnny or Susie excel in this particular area. Educating them about what's going on in their brain right now, what's going on with them physically. That has been so impactful for our parents, and then in turn our parents talking to other parents, or someone reaching out to them going like, hey, my kiddo's struggling with this. The fact that we have been able to educate them on why we do what we do, that has been our biggest help, is just kind of spreading that family message of this is what's going on and why the Kletkes are doing what they're doing on the mats. And that's really been a way that we've sown those seeds into our community. And I mean, it's amazing how things have blossomed with us personally coming into 2021. We have never been busier. We this week have 6 new students. Last week was 6 new students. The week before was another 4. And for most of them, truly, there was a connection back to our studio, back to a family that's been, talking about some of the hard things. I know you guys are going through it too with the pandemic, issues with anxiety, issues with, kiddos not having a safe outlet to be able to, deal with those big feelings, those emotions, but also just to move their bodies. Those are things that we're actively addressing and talking about, and making sure every step of the way that parents know and our community knows we're doing it safely. We're doing it with, our parents, our children in mind, because we want to obviously not only look out for their physical health, but we want to make sure that we're there for them mentally, emotionally, and socially as well, because that for our kiddos that are in studio and our new ones coming in, that's really been where they've been most affected. And also, I will have to say, we are so blessed to have a very active recreation department in our community. So we actually serve Village of Sussex through the recreation department by doing classes in collaboration with them. And I mean, they definitely have that same kind of mindset and mission of coming alongside kids in many different ways with many different activities to support them right now. So that has been another amazing way that we've gotten the message out about what Skillz is, what we're doing, and why we're doing it, especially now more than ever for kiddos' mental and emotional health.
I've caught a couple of your videos here and there too, and you guys do, I think, a really great job of fostering just a peaceful yet powerful message. I think that's a nice balance for something like the Skillz program, where back in the day it was, oh, we're the toughest, we're the baddest, and then sometimes we try to go too far over the deep end on the other way. I think you guys have a really nice balance that really makes, and I'm making an assumption here, that it probably makes people feel really at ease coming to see what you're all about, and curious as to what you do.
Yes, I mean, it's definitely interesting when new families come in. If they've heard of us before, so many of them will say like, "Oh my gosh, they were right. This is kind of like a big family, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, it is. We are here for each other in so many ways." Others who come in who maybe had an entirely different experience, it really can be kind of a shock, but not in a bad way, to the system, because they see that it's something different, but it's really going to take care of their child as a whole. And I mean, really, truly, for the times that we're in, I can't emphasize enough that is needed, so much in our area. I know in certain areas it's a little bit different depending on where you live right now, but for us where we're based, so many things are offline and so many things are not there for the kiddos that maybe before were something that they could really lean on. So coming into, a welcoming environment where they know that we're going to have their back through thick and thin, it's really been kind of that weight off of their shoulders to know that they're not going to have to go through this alone. We'll be with them every step of the way.
Yeah, I like how she's bringing in relationship.
Yes.
You've cultivated, you've cultivated your business very methodically, because you've created relationship from your business, your studio, your antelopes. Everything is based on relationship, and this is why, again, you've taken the name of your studio and you represent it really well. Family Strong Sussex. It's not just about back in the days, back in the boonies, right? When we came up, it was more like Salama's family taekwondo. This family taekwondo. It wasn't about family. It was just a name. It was about, like Michael said, how
with that in mind, you have to be careful when you say family sometimes. Yep. Because I've had a lot of jobs in my life, a lot of careers, and they always say, this office is like family. Well, you know what? I don't like half my family. And then when I get in there and that office shows me why I don't like half my family. I think a lot of what we're seeing coming out of Family Strong Sussex is that better half, that really nurturing side of it.
I mean, so she's carrying, you guys are carrying the brand really, really well too. Like, everything is about the brand. Everything is about your cultivation is on point. Very good. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So we're coming down to the home stretch here. So Meg, as a brand ambassador here, we are kind of throwing you out there to the public and saying, Meg is what Skillz is. And we want people to look at what you're doing and come to you for help, just like maybe they might come to one of us. So if somebody in your area, or even on the interwebs, because everything's universal now, how would somebody find you? How would somebody come ask you a question or something if they wanted to get in touch?
That's a great question. So I would definitely field to our Facebook page. That's a nice, easy way to find us. We are found at Family Strong Sussex, and all of our information is right there for people to be able to connect with us in many different ways. We've got the phone, we've got email, as well as our website. So another great place to connect with us is our website, SussexSkillzNinjas.com, and that's skills with the Z. So not with the S, just making sure we got that out there. So that's another great way to get in touch with us. And I highly encourage anybody that, if you guys are really thinking about how can I bring in, Skillz into my studio, or if there's something going on where you feel like you need a helping hand with how do I, better connect with my parents? How do I better educate them? We, our doors, our, phone lines, emails are open to you guys. We truly believe in making sure that everyone can keep that journey moving forward to help our kids and our teens and our parents right now more than ever. So we are here for you guys in whatever way that you need, and that would be the best way to get in touch with us.
Sweet.
Fantastic. So we do want to be mindful of your time. Thank you so much for coming on today. I think I am definitely re-inspired to go start cultivating my audience and get out of my office.
Yes.
Maybe I'll give you a
call. Cultivate.
So
I promise you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. If you guys want a chat, sometimes reaching out to John or I could be a little hinky with everything going on. or sometimes you want that I'm going to say like, less corporate impact here. Instead of John and I towing the line, Meg's a school owner. She is just a Skillz member. She's going to give it to you honest. So if you want to weigh in, definitely reach out to her. Even if you have no challenges, I would definitely add her to your personal network, and Alex as well. I know he's been busy too. Make sure that you get them in your personal network on Facebook. And if you ever have a chance to say hi, they're great people. Go see them.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys.
You guys did an amazing job in the last, hasn't been 2 years yet, Meg. It has not been 2 years yet since we started the journey. And guys, they have come a long way. I was blessed to go to their studio a few months ago, and they just remodeled their studio too. Now it's much bigger workout space.
Cultivation takes a little fertilizer too. So let me drop some manure here.
Yeah.
Guys, in less than 2 years, they are fully engulfed in the Skillz mentality, the Skillz programs, and the Skillz success in their business, their mindset, and how they impact their students.
Yes.
Some of you have been Skillz members longer than me, and you're still thinking about what you should do.
I know.
Just going to leave that there and let it marinate.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally have to shout out with that. I mean, yes. So John came down. So this is what happens when your coach comes to visit. And he's an engineer. He looks around and says, "What can we do better?" And then that turns into turning a remodel around with all your families, with your students, sledgehammers, dust everywhere, 15 days to pull off a remodel so we can be back on the mats with each and every one of our families doing what we love to do by the beginning of the new year. So our absolute love and thanks to our families, because we could not have done it without our personal community. And that's what we have strived to build and nurture, because we love each and every one of them so much, and they were there for us every step of the way to pull that off. So it was amazing.
You guys were able to double your workout space. Instead of having like one little tiny room and one big room, now you've got two huge rooms. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Job well done.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, so, Meg, thank you so much for your time and attention.
You're most welcome.
Seeing you continue to grow. And, of course, Mr. Salama, as always, I appreciate hanging out with you.
Same here, guys. It was awesome this week.
Guess we will see you guys next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I believe we might be introducing another ambassador sometime soon.
Yes. Be on the lookout.
That's it.
All right, guys. Go crush your week.
Go get it.
Awesome. Bye.